Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is Sunday, January 18th, 2026. And it's Hi Star, Hey Gay. Yeah, and this is part of the 3-day holiday, federal holiday over in the UK. You call it a bank holiday weekend. It's to celebrate Martin Luther King. Yeah. And unfortunately, so many people here in the United States have twisted his ideology to suit their own evil agenda. Now, please remember, I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient. So everything on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to do your own research and form your own opinions and stuff. Now, while we're waiting for some people to pop in, I do want to say that over the past, I'd say 2-3 days, a lot of things have been just popping up in weird things, and I've been taking notes. And quite a bit of it is on the religious bent. And I'll be getting into that at another, not right now, but when I finish a lot of the other things that are going on. But there's just, I will admit it's not things that have just popped up on YouTube. Hi, K-Mac. But I do watch other platforms. And okay, there's Truth Social, there's Rumble, there's BitChute. I avoid Telegram because that's actually run by Islamic idiots who are hiding out in Dubai. So people just stay away from that form of social media, along with TikTok. TikTok is still being under the control of the CCP. So, and if the country doesn't allow Judeo-Christian worship where their servers are based and where they're being run out of, avoid it, because they are using those social media platforms to undermine the Judeo-Christian Western world. So stay away from TikTok, stay away from Telegram. And we need to, someone needs to do an in-depth research on Marky Z to see what he's following. Because, yeah, that's Meta, that's Facebook and Instagram. Hi, Renee. Thank you for joining us. And hi, Solarian. So let me get started with what I put up in the tagline. Yes, today is another playoff game with the Chicago Bears, and they're playing against Los Angeles Rams and the LA Rams. Let's put it to right now. Now it's in the Chicago area. So that's well below 0 Celsius. Well, teams from the West Coast, the Southwest and the West, and the Southern states, they're accustomed to playing in comfortable weather all the time. So I would say that the Bears not only have home court advantage at Soldier Field, but they've been able to practice in this weather. and they know what it's like to be out there and play in cold weather. And I admit it, back when I was in college, my late teens, 18, 19, I hung out with a guy that played for the Cincinnati Bengals. So yeah, I did get to go to a Super Bowl game. My dad and I went. um, yeah, so I used to hang out with that guy, and one of the things that he would always, when I'd fly out, go from Chicago to Cincinnati to watch a game and stuff, he'd always ask me, he goes, would you mind going to the drugstore and picking up this for me? And I'm like, and I think for a minute, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. And instead of getting the ultra control top pantyhose for him to wear underneath his uniform, I actually went and got the more warmer and more heavy duty Lycra dancer's tights. And I said, hey, try these. And he's like, my gosh, I'm warmer and they hold everything in better. I go, yeah, it's the same type of tights that the ballet dancers wear. And I go, and they can go in the washing machine and hang them up dry. And so I ended up getting him about half a dozen pairs. And he said it made a big difference. And the other guys on the team were like, because they do in the cold weather, football players do wear like control top pantyhose and stuff. They start asking, he goes, where'd you get those? What are they? And he said, yeah, my girlfriend got them from a dance supply store, and they're actually warmer and hold the muscles in tighter and give better back support. Because, hey, a lot of the professional athletes, they'll see pictures of this and that, and they do have said that one of the top athletes in the world is Mikhail Baryshnikov. Think about, I mean, even now, Baryshnikov still practices because, ballet dancers, you have to have so much core body strength to do what needs to be done that it's just like ballet dancers and other, not the hip hop crap, but traditionally trained dancers, they're extreme athletes. I mean, take a look at some of the stuff that Vera Ellen used to do. Yeah, don't think any basketball player could make those moves. Hockey players, maybe, but take a look at it. Now, I'm not saying who's going to win, but let's put it this way. The Bears are more comfortable in playing in this weather, so they most likely will be doing a better job on stuff. Because the guys from LA aren't used to playing outside or being outside for extended time in this below freezing cold. And plus, they're right on the lake. And even though they're in the Soldier Field, you still get some lake effect wind down in there. And I've been there during freezing cold games. And yeah, it's like you wear your sheepskin boots, your fur coat, and your Elmer Fudd hat that's fur lined. And you make it through the game, staying nice and toasty warm. But yeah, the Bears may have, just because they're accustomed to the weather, that's going to give them an advantage. Because, yeah, I worked in the film industry, and I know people who worked on different shows and people down in New Mexico and all this and that, and they were asking, hey, what's going to go down with Busfield, Gilbert's husband? Yes, Solarian, yes. A lot of athletes are sent to formal ballet classes because ballet is a more strenuous sport than anything else. Yes, hey, Lady of the Lake. Yeah, hockey players are always sent because it gives them better balance. And the guy, Chelio said, he goes, my kids, we go to the boys' ballet class because it helps with the agility, movement, and balance. Okay? So, yeah, Lady of the Lake. But, yeah, I was someone called me and asked me about Timothy Busfield and the accusations. Remember, he's down in New Mexico right now. And New Mexico is a state that is flipping from blue to red. It's got a purplish tint. Right now it's a blue-violet state. And the reason why these charges have been brought up against Timothy Busfield is because he is not aligning himself politically with the people that are going after him. Hi, Mendocino. So it's being done because he's not, people don't consider him on the right side of the political movement. That's why they're going after him. So, yeah, that's the whole reason for this accusations. All right. Now, hey, Joe, hope everything's going well with you down there. I know stuff is rocking, but Joe, get some lavender in your house, please. You know, like those wax melts and stuff. Go ahead and get a lavender vanilla one. And yeah, Nivea and Neutrogena have lavender vanilla body lotion and stuff. Start lavender and vanilla. That's what you need around your house right now. And vanilla, you can just put a teaspoon of it in a pot of water and have it simmer on the stove. All righty. Yeah, you can do that right now. Now, okay, people are questioning about things, and people asked me the other day, I was out and about, and they're talking about Donald and the alleged, okay, yes. When you bring mommy home, don't laugh, but get the old-fashioned Quaker Oats, you know, in the round container. When you lift up the lid is the cookie recipe. Modify the cookie recipe, and I don't use raisins because I just don't like them. I'll substitute currants or dried cherries or even dried cranberries in the mix. So make those cookies, and because those are actually very healthy. And when she has to take her medication, most likely she has to eat something. So a cup of tea, get like the Bengal spice, which is loaded with cinnamon, because cinnamon is an enhancer and accelerant for medication. It makes it work better and faster. And some oatmeal cookies with a cup of cinnamon tea. And hi, Patty. And that will help mom with her medication and get stuff into her tummy. And the oatmeal helps. It's a fiber, so it helps her go to the bathroom easier. And a little bit of chocolate in there. Hey, why not? Everyone loves chocolate. Actually kicks in some of our natural hormones to make you feel better. Okay? Yeah, it's the old-fashioned Quaker Oats, you know, and the recipe's inside the lid. Okay? Okay, now asked with Trump, why did he turn down the East Wing? And I said, we need to go back and look at the internal infrastructure of the White House. I mean, what was it? It was Eisenhower, Truman that had to have it rebuilt because the infrastructure was falling apart. When the East Wing was built, the building codes were completely different. And when they took down the covered walkway, they discovered that the plumbing and the electrical and the insulation, which could be covered, which I think someone said was asbestos, it would be less money to rebuild the entire section than to do the renovations needed. So that's why they tore it down. and it's being rebuilt as offices and the new ballroom. They're going to have everything up to current building codes. No more water pipes that are hooked together with lead, and no more old wiring that can't handle the modern day computer systems. And so, yeah, a lot of people, they buy older houses and they freak out because they need to rewire everything. You look at these home renovation shows, and something that's always brought up, oh, we need to rewire the entire house. Yeah, because most older houses were wired prior to everyone owning a freaking computer and heavy duty electronic TVs and stuff and the Wi-Fi. So yeah, it was cheaper to pull everything down and rebuild from scratch, because now it's building code. Everything will be up to top, will be up above and beyond the current building codes requirements. So that's why they did it. And it's basically cheaper to rebuild. Hey, take a look at what's going on with Buckingham Palace. I talked to someone who's a contractor, and they said they talked to someone, and literally Buckingham Palace still had lead pipes in certain areas. And they had some parts of the building still had the original wiring that was cotton wrapped wires. So the reason why it's taking so long to renovate is they have to put in all new plumbing through the entire building and all new electrical wiring. And plus they have to put in a new, more higher version of security cameras and motion detectors. That's why it's taking so long for that building to be back up and running. And yes, when the kids, when they're old enough, may still live in when they're college age, if they're going to like London University. Yeah, George or Charlotte may choose to stay in their old bedroom over at KP, but William and Catherine will have their London pied-à-terre at Buckingham Palace when it's all brought up to safety codes. They will stay there because William, he doesn't like Clarence House. That's got too much of a tight too many memories of his dad screwing up, and Camilla are going to be haunting there. Chuck and Camilla will be. They won't want to leave Clarence. He won't want to leave Clarence House. She'll be roaming around her house in the country near Highgrove. Now, somebody else asked me, they go, well, is KC3 going to come over here to the United States, because 2026, our country's 250th birthday. Now, it'll be planned, but KC3 is going to be sitting on the fence, and they may use the big C as an excuse for him to bail out at the last minute. But he's supposed to come over for a big celebration in the springtime. But remember, this spring, the World Cup will be held here in the United States. So what they may end up doing, because William is a big fan of the World Cup, that's when he and Catherine will come over with kids. The boys will go to the game, and Catherine and Charlotte will be going off and doing something fun girl-wise. Most likely Melania and Ivanka. And Melania and Ivanka will grab the little girls, Donald's granddaughters. And they'll be hanging out with Catherine, the 3 women, along with the other little girls who are around Charlotte's age. So it'll be a girls' day while the boys are all watching the World Cup. Okay? That's how they're going to do it. They're going to split it up. Boys go do this. The girls are going to go do that. And you'll see a lot of good stuff happening with that. And now something else. Oh, yeah. Davos. It's going to be interesting. And Donald will be making, he's going to say some really directive stuff pertaining to the Islamic idiots. Now, and what we're going to see coming out, Sophie's going to say something. Because remember, the new Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, one of her prime charities or areas of where she keeps raising awareness of are women who've been used in terrible ways from invading idiots. Well, Sophie has been quietly letting people in the family know, keep asking. It's like, hey, we're in this Islamic invasion, this idiot invasion, and they are attacking women and girls. And we need to make it stop. And if they don't make it stop, they're condoning the abuse of women and children. Is bringing that to the attention. You see the screen flipped? Somebody didn't like what I just said. They are, Sophie is going to bring that to light and force the big dogs into doing something. Okay? And, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but one of the things is that I was watching the other what's-his-face, and I guess what happened in Tehran back in 78, 79 in front of the American USA Embassy is now happening in front of I mean, it's hilarious. It's nasty what these people do. And anyone who condones that ideology condones the harm that comes to women and girls. But yeah, what's his face? That other guy was broadcasting because there is a ginormous rallies are now all over the UK supporting the reversal of what happened back in 78, 79 in Iran. The true Persians are fighting back. And they're supporting Reza. Reza will actually be it's going to be in Washington, D.C. when KC3 and William and the family come over for the visit. There's going to be a quiet meeting. There's going to be a quiet meeting. It's not really going to hit too many. It's going to be announced after the fact. But basically, Charles is going to be made to have he's going to be real guilty because of what's happened and what's been happening. He's going to really be like hanging his head. But Reza is going to he'll be good friends with William because Reza's a crown prince, which is like Prince of Wales. Reza and William will have a private conversation. And then Reza and also what's his face from Jordan, and even Mikey, the crown prince of the Saud family. Mikey's going to have to put his tail between his legs, and he's going to have to, okay, fine, we got to stick together. But you're going to have Reza, William, and they'll have what's his face from Jordan on the phone. And they're going to work out a plan where all of them work together to quash the Islamic idiots that have been under the control of the Islamic Republic. Okay? They're going to be working together. They're going to join forces into eliminating the evil. And yeah, once they join forces, after that meeting takes place, all hell is going to break loose in the UK. So folks are going to have to stock up on non-perishable goods. I mean, don't go overboard, but make sure you've got enough that can stretch your meals. Okay? I mean, barley, and if you only have 1 pound you can only get one small cut of meat. That small cut of meat can be turned into soup. So barley is a good, healthy grain. So stock barley and rice and dried beans, and what you can get from the stores, you make it into a big pot of soup. Okay? Yeah, KC3 has been, Donald has been reading him. He's been told big time, and KC3 is also running scared because they're now KC3 is now waking up because he forgot. He's like allowing people to torture Andy. I mean, hey, Andy was doing the gig that was set out for him, being the James Bond character for the family, doing his James Bond thing. And now evil Charles has like allowed the script to be flipped, saying, oh, he's doing horrible stuff, awful, 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 instead of good, good, good. Well, Chucky forgets that his brother and Sarah were around during the downfall of how Chucky was screwing up his marriage. And yes, Sarah and Diana were basically working together, comparing notes, because they were in this. Sarah was basically after the heirs and spares were born, the gray suits wanted Sarah out, and they wanted Diana out because they were strong-willed women and wouldn't put up with the bullshit. So they did so Sarah and Diana were in close communication about a lot of things. And Diana did confide to Sarah and Andy some very personal stuff about the marriage. And Andy, being the smart James Bond guy, he recorded it. He's got those tapes hidden. And he's now saying to Charles, either you call off these asshole dogs off of me. If you don't, everything I know about what you did to Diana and during that marriage is going to come to light. You didn't like the fact your son wrote that book that was primarily fiction. But what information Sarah and Andy have is the truth. And Charles is going to start going into massive, massive panic mode about it because they have the dirt. And part of it also is what they're, because Andy knows all the evil shit that was going on in Iran, that, and the evilness of the Islamic idiots. Andy is holding this information over Charles's head. You've got to ditch and become Anglican and ditch the 5 times a day shit. Okay? Now, because of things happening like, it's going to be revealed that the Islamic Republic has also been the group that is controlling Idiot Omar and the other 5 times a day idiots here in the United States. Okay? And it's going to get nasty. Because as Reza is leaving the California area, which has a huge Persian population. He's going to be going out east, so where he can be, there's better people who can keep him safe out on the East Coast. So yeah, Reza and his family are all going to be moving east. Okay. And it's going to get wild, and it's going to be exposed that the Islamic Republic, the evil ones, are the ones that have been controlling the people from the African country. And it's going to be exposed that that African country has been the laundry for US dollars going in to supply the Hezbollah, Hamas, Taliban, ISIS, Al Qaeda, all of those shitheads. And yeah, help sending supplies over to Yemen. Now, yeah, the Aussie news about Eugenie. Eugenie is caught between a rock and a hard place. It's either you cut ties with your daddy, or the Montecito monster has some dirt on her. So you either ditch your daddy, or I'm going to expose all the dirty shit that you've done. She's being blackmailed to screw over her dad because of the Montecito monster. Okay? It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. And a lot of people don't like it, but that's how things are. Okay? Let me put the link in. But Harry his residence where it's being offered to him is Highgrove. And the people who've been taking care of the kid are probably already living in a close proximity to Highgrove. Okay? In fact, the people taking care of him are probably already employed on the estate. That's where he's if he wants to go back and have the family support financially, security, emotionally, all that, he'll be told, boom, you got to move to Highgrove. Now, Beatrice, Princess B, she married into the Italian. where her loyalties lay, because she follows, she's now, her loyalty is primarily to her husband's family and to Italy, not the UK. She may still be Princess B of York, but she's also the Countess of something or other. She's, her husband's rank and status is now what she follows. Being, okay. Well, that's why Henry is going to end up being over at Highgrove. Okay. Now I covered all that. Now I don't know how many of you over the past, you call it, some of us call it an earwig, earbug. It's like you keep seeing or hearing a song over and over and over in your head. Well, for the past week, it's been, for me, it's been the song Mistletoe and Wine. Yeah, go find it. It's one of the holiday songs done by Cliff Richard. Mistletoe and Wine. And it's popping in my ear, but other than I have to go and do something and work on the computer. And it's been kind of unusual because I'll be hearing that song, and then what comes up in the suggestion list, yes, an earworm. What comes up in this video suggestion list is a lot of things pertaining to Judeo-Christian history that has not been bastardized by the misogynistic Roman Catholic Church, by the misogynistic guys running the show. And one of them is because those guys don't like the fact that many women were gifted with extra abilities, okay? I mean, and one thing that came up, yes, Mendocino, yes. Sarah and Andy have the dirt. And Sophie has her good work about defending women who've been attacked by idiots. And she can throw that at Charles. And Sophie and Sarah and Catherine have discussed it, along with Louise. So, and of course, the person who ditched out of that meeting was Camilla. All righty. Okay, now one of the strange videos that popped up, and I clicked back and forth, but the same video kept being tossed into my feed, was about Saint Hildegard. Yeah, let me type that name in so people can do some homework on her. And she was born, what did I say, in 10. She was like the 10th child. And remember, way back when, a lot, the Judeo-Christian religions were still heavily guided by what people call the old truth faith, of people who are, hi Maria, thank you for joining us, of the spiritual. It's like we may not be traditionally religious, but we're very spiritual, and we pay attention to our extra senses. And Saint Hildegard was involved with the Judeo-Christian Roman Catholic Church, and they didn't like her because she basically was a prophet. like Joseph. They kicked the word psychic out, but so they switched it out for prophet. And our visions were letting people know, hey, remember, the earth is a living being, and if you do bad shit, Mother Nature goes and kicks your butt. And whether, like, okay, there's all the nasty shit happening in the Middle East. Well, the people that are doing the most harm and damage to the world right now, they're running out of water. And not too long ago, there was a massive rainstorm that blew through the Middle East that literally flooded cities like Abu Dhabi and Dubai. That water could have been put into for storage for a dry day, but those idiots just let it drain off. So Mother Nature is kicking certain areas' butt. Windstorms, water, fire, and bad harvest. Earth, wind, fire, and water. So look at what's going on. I mean, wherever the Democrats are that are screwing over the countries, the idiots and the Islamic idiots, those areas are being hammered by quirky weather. Either too cold, too much rain, a drought. So yeah, look up St. Hildegard. It's going to be interesting. Now, the other one, another person, Solarian, what we have to do is when you relax and you do your own personal, some people call it meditation or prayer time, when you decide to sit back and allow your body to receive messages from guardian angels, spirit guides, they'll tell you what you need to prepare with. Like I said, it just might be like when you go to the grocery store, just, hey, grab an extra bag of rice, some beans. Go check out the clearance racks in the grocery store, because you're going to find unusual stuff, but it will come in handy. You'll need it later on to stretch your meals. Okay? Yeah. Gay, it's like Mother Nature's kicking butts of the idiots. Now, the other topic of videos that kept bopping in was this one, Anna Catherine Emmerich. She was a mystic from Germany, or not exactly Germany, but it's now part of Germany. And she was born in the late 1700s, and let me put her name in. Yeah. She was, born in what? Check her stuff out, because she was another one that was dumped into the Catholic Church because she was talking about stuff that not everyone could understand. And of course, back then, the Roman Catholic Church was so misogynistic that any woman who was speaking the truth about what was coming out, they dumped her to a convent. Well, her predictions, her messages were that there would be a big split between all the Judeo-Christian sex. There'd be the real people, the good, healthy people, and the nasty assholes that are doing all the nasty shit. So it's gonna be split off between the good and the baddies, and the baddies are the ones that are keep saying they're the ones that feel supporting the Islamic idiots. So her information mentioned this would be about the time that it would happen. So check her out. Now, the other ones that I'm seeing are like, they're saying that during this month of January and all sorts of crazy things are going to be happening. They say 26 is the year of this, and this. Well, okay, yeah. One said, oh, in January there'll be a new illness. Well, yeah, everybody was told to take this new influenza and pneumonia virus vaccine, jabberdo. All those people are getting super sick. It was an intentional whatever. And the people are getting pissed off because they're trying to take down all the information about how the C19 was actually a variant of the 68-69 HK flu that flew all over. And if you had it back in 68-69, you don't need the C19 jabberdo. And they're forgetting to remind people that negative, especially ONEG, you're born with super duper immunity to a lot of shit. I mean, they're finding out now that people who are ONEG, they don't catch some of the stuff. They can be exposed to all sorts of evil nonsense and they don't get sick. And they're trying to track people with ONEG. So basically, what was that movie, The Omega Man? They wanted his blood until they drained him and killed him. So those with ONEG need to keep their identity on the quiet. Now, yeah, so they're saying that pretty soon more and more political crap is going to be revealed. Well, we know that with the Democrats and the Smalley idiots, and it's being revealed that the Democrats and the labor governments have basically sold out to the devil, and it's all blowing up in their face. And because they have done this stuff, they're trying to say, oh, we're in this kind of situation, that kind of situation. But it's their payback to those of us who won't believe their propaganda. They're trying to make things tougher on us. It's a constructed structure to make people subjugate themselves to hi Denise. They're trying to make us subjugate ourselves to the idiots, but we're strong to know not. Yes, I put the link in case anybody wants to jump into the live. And start keeping your eye on more and more parents who are watching, grandparents. Set it up that the kids, their internet gets shut down at a certain time. They can only be online for a certain period of the day, and the rest of the time, no more internet. Okay? We got to shut it down because the kids are becoming brainwashed. But ever since they put electronic devices into the classroom, that's when the brainwashing started. That's why we have so many young adults who are clueless. And then the reason why they put that worldwide lockdown is so they could really brainwash the younger ones. And those kids especially those that were trapped in high school, they were being brainwashed subconsciously via the computer screen. And they're the idiots that are pro-Islamic idiot. I mean, take a look at them. They're the ones, because they don't remember everything that happened. Okay? And they're saying all sorts of crazy stuff is due to happen. And they're saying this is the year of the days of darkness. Some people say, oh, everything's going to go dark. It's scare tactics of the evil ones. So don't panic. But we will start seeing a lot more. Go back and watch the movie about Fatima and the miracle of the sun. Well, like I said before earlier in this, Mother Nature is sending out a lot of messages. And those who keep following the good, like Donald, it's like, hey, don't worry about it. I know, Solarian, it's crazy. Yeah, we just have so much. Broken Arrow Mosque was defeated by the people. We've got so many evil idiots in power, but all their shenanigans will be exposed, and it will be falling down the tubes. It's so, yeah. And let me drop the link in case we have anyone who wants to jump in and ask real questions. Okay. Lady of the Lake, hey, remember, why do you think I took the month of August off? So they couldn't have any content for their nasty channels. So it's probably one of the goofballs that likes certain other people. Just ignore. And they think they're so smart putting things in the chat log, and they think they're going to go and delete it later on. But if you notice down in the lower corner of my screen, it is putting all the comments there, and they aren't deletable. They're all still there for future reference. Okay? So it's probably somebody looking for content for somebody else's channel. Somebody who is too lazy to do their own homework. So just ignore. It's just ignore her or that person. Because, yeah, they're just looking for content for somebody else. Now, I want to thank everyone who's been watching today, the people who came over from Truth Social, the people from X who are watching. I want to say thank you to, and it's if people need my attention, please email me. I'll give you the directions for how to set up a private reading, and we can go from there. So, everyone, have a good week. If you have questions, concerns, those of you that are members of the channel, you know how to reach me. And for those who aren't members of the channel, please email me and we'll schedule a private reading. and we'll go from there. So everyone have a great day, and a good week, and go Bears.